Hey everyone, and welcome! You're here to learn JavaScript, and that's awesome. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've even dabbled a bit, but what is JavaScript really? And what cool things can we actually do with it? Well, stick around, because in this video, we're going to explore just that. This is foundational stuff, so it's super helpful to get a good grasp of it as we start our journey together. Now, if you ask 10 different people to define JavaScript, you might get 10 slightly different answers. But here's a simple way I like to think about it. JavaScript is a powerful, versatile, and user friendly programming language. Let's break down a bit, shall we? First off, it's a programming language. That simply means it's a way for us to write instructions that the computer can understand and follow. We write code, and the computer does things based on that code. Our main goal with JavaScript is to tell web browsers and even other environments what to do. I also said it's user friendly, or what technical folks call high level. This is great news for us. It means JavaScript is designed to be easier for humans to read and write. We don't have to worry about the super technical, nitty gritty details of how the computer's memory is working behind the scenes. JavaScript handles a lot of that complex stuff for us, which makes learning and writing code much smoother. JavaScript also often described as object oriented. Don't let the fancy term scare you. For now, just think of it like organizing information to neat boxes. Each box or object can hold related pieces of data and even functions that can do things with that data. We'll dive deep into objects later in this course, but it's a core concept for how JavaScript handles many types of information. And finally, it's versatile or multi-paradigm. This just means JavaScript is super flexible. You can write code in different styles or approaches depending on the problem you're trying to solve. You can give direct step-by-step commands, or you can describe the outcome you want. This flexibility is one of the reasons JavaScript is so widely used. Again, we'll see examples of these different styles as we go. So, to recap, a programming language to give computers instructions. User friendly, so it's easier for us. Often uses objects to organize data. And very flexible in how we write our code. Hope that makes a bit of sense for now. Okay, now that we have a basic idea of what JavaScript is, let's talk about its main job, especially in web development. When you're building a website or a web application, there are usually three key technologies working together: HTML, CSS, and of course, JavaScript. Think of it like building a house. HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language, is the skeleton or the basic structure of the web page. It defines the different parts of your page, like headings, paragraphs, images, and forms. It's the nouns, the what. CSS, cascading style sheets, is like the paint, wallpaper, and furniture. It's responsible for the presentation, how everything looks. It styles the HTML, adding colors, fonts, layouts, and making the page visually appealing. It's the adjectives, the how it looks. And then there's JavaScript. This is the electricity, the plumbing, and all the appliances that make the house functional and interactive. JavaScript adds behavior to the page. It can change HTML content, modify CSS styles, react to user actions like clicks and keyboard presses, fetch data, and so much more. It's the verbs, the what it does. So, HTML gives you the content, CSS makes it look pretty, and JavaScript makes it do things, makes it dynamic and interactive. Let's imagine a very simple scenario. Suppose we have a welcome message on a web page and a button. When you click the button, we want the welcome message to change. The HTML would define the heading for the message and the button. The CSS might style the heading to be a certain color and the button to look inviting. And JavaScript is what would actually listen for the button click and then change the text of the heading. We can use JavaScript to validate forms before they are submitted, create image sliders, show or hide information, play animations, load new data without reloading the entire page. Like when you're scrolling through a social media feed and new posts appear. Think about modern web applications like online maps, email clients in your browser, or document editors. JavaScript is making all that complex interactivity happen. Now, while JavaScript is famous for making websites interactive in the browser, what we call front-end development, its talent don't stop there. Thanks to tools like Node.js, JavaScript can also run on web servers. This means you can use JavaScript to write back-end code, the code that handles requests, interacts with databases, and manages application logic on the server completely outside of a web browser. So you have two main scenarios here. JavaScript running in the user's web browser, making the website interactive and dynamic for the user to see and experience directly. And JavaScript, often with Node.js, running on a server, handling data, business logic, and powering the application from behind the scenes. And it gets even more exciting. JavaScript's reach has extended even further. With tools and frameworks like React Native, Ionic, or Native Script, developers can use JavaScript to build native mobile applications for iOS and Android. And with tools like Electron, you can even build cross-platform desktop applications that can you install on your Windows, Mac, or Linux computer. So the same core language can be used for websites, web servers, mobile apps, and desktop apps. That's incredibly powerful. You might also hear about popular JavaScript libraries and frameworks like React, Angular, or Vue.js. These are essentially toolkits built with JavaScript that make it easier and faster to build complex, large-scale web applications. They provide pre-written code and structures to handle common tasks. Now, here's a really important tip. All these fancy frameworks and libraries are still, at their core, 100% JavaScript. So having a strong understanding of fundamental JavaScript is absolutely key before you jump into learning a specific framework. If you know JavaScript well, picking up any framework will be much easier. And if a popular framework today becomes less popular tomorrow, your solid JavaScript skills will always be valuable and allow you to adapt. Alright, one last thing before we wrap up this introduction. Let's briefly touch upon JavaScript versions or releases. JavaScript is a living language. It evolves. The official name for the JavaScript standard is ECMAScript, often shortened to ES. In 2015, there was a very significant update to the language, officially called ES 2015, but many people still refer to it as ES6 because it was the version after ES5. ES6 or ES 2015 introduced a lot of fantastic new features and modern ways of writing JavaScript. Since 2015, there has been a new release of ECMAScript every year, ES 2016, ES 2017, and so on, each adding a few more refinements and features. Collectively, these versions from ES6 onwards are what we generally call modern JavaScript. I'm really excited to guide you through this. In our next videos, we'll start getting our hands dirty and writing some actual code. So get ready and let's embark on this JavaScript adventure together.